Welcome, everyone. This is our monthly reunion podcast meeting. Today, we have a new person with us named Jennifer Jerrald. Jennifer, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I am Jennifer Jerrald, and I am a keynote speaker, transformational coach, published author, musician, mom, wife, sister, auntie, and all of the other stuff. Most of all, I am a child of God, and I am so grateful for that because if it wasn't for Him, I wouldn't have made it through any of my days. And so grateful to have had the opportunity to go through this transformation in 2020 from nail tech to superwoman, I guess, in my own mind. It's like I was sitting at a nail station a year ago and I thought I was doing really well, but I was just kind of getting by. And then when COVID hit and the branch on my tree broke, I found out that I could fly. And I am so thankful to be here and to get to know each of you and to see your faces. Aaron, I've seen your face on Forbes and I've heard your voice in the elephant room on Clubhouse, but it's nice to be in the same room with you. So that's me. My vision and mission is to reach into the ashes where others smolder, to rise with them from victim to warrior, because we are not meant to just smolder. We have been born to rise.
So. Phoenix rising. Aaron?
Hello, everyone. My name is Aaron Konow, known as the Master of Cash Flow, because I show people how cash is not king, cash flow is king. And having multiple streams of income is a very good idea because people think out there, oh, I have a good secure job, it has great benefits and all that happy jazz. When it comes to technology, things change very quickly. And people are normally when people are at a nice secure job, they're normally only one check away from bankruptcy normally because of their money mindset, and they know nothing about when it comes with investing and multiple sources of income. And I just help people grow with that. And yeah, and everyone needs a multiple source of income. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. And it's growing into that, I believe, and that'll be a norm probably within the next 3 to 5 years.
Maggie?
Awesome. Hi, everybody. My name is Maggie. I live in Canada with Lori. We have a plan to meet in person one day when all those lockdowns are over. I'm a business and leadership coach, so I help service-based women entrepreneurs grow their businesses, attract consistent paying clients without overwhelm. And how I do it, I help them sort of align 3 key areas for their business. Their mindsets to overcome all the fears that are coming up when we're running our business, regardless of the stage. Our negative kind of brain is natural this way. It puts up all those barriers in front of us. And then their business skills, so their branding, their marketing, a bit of finance, sales and all that, and the high performance. Because, as Jennifer said, especially as women, we have a lot of hats going on, and family is very important to us. So working smart and taking care of ourselves is very important. So then we can be the moms and the CEOs and whatever else we want to be and really live that balanced life. So,
can I interject quickly too? I just wanted to, you have a Facebook group as well, and it's growing really quickly. Why don't you just mention that quickly?
Yes, so free Facebook group for any women entrepreneurs who want to join us and learn. I do a lot of free training there, a lot of motivation, and it's definitely not limited only to service-based entrepreneurs. It's open to all the women across the world. It's an international group, and it's called Women Entrepreneurs with Passion for Life. It's a number 4. So invite, anybody's welcome.
Florian?
Very cool.
Hey, hi. I'm a podcast host with Roy. Lift your story. Also have my other podcast that's slowly growing, pretty exciting. That's called Bleep Bulimia, for primarily midlife bulimia. And it's not just about bulimics on there. It's about nice, subjects that people who are struggling with bulimia can connect with. I'm also a bulimia recovery coach. And that's been pretty exciting to do too, because it's something I've always wanted to do, but I promised myself I'd be recovered 10 years before I got onto that journey. So I'm there. Aside from that, as I think most of us here, we probably all have some action in some book somewhere. So we're just a bunch of authors. So that's all cool.
Well,
Right.
while we're talking about that, we've got Jennifer. She's got some recognition. She just started. Tell us about your song, Jennifer.
So a couple of months ago, I was invited into a complimentary mentoring session with a coach in Canada. Her name is Casilda Zacharias, and on Instagram, she's Casilda_soul, SOL. And we had met in a clubhouse room, and she said, "Oh, I want to meet you," because I was really struggling with some things, and I was vulnerable in that room that day. And we got on screen like this, and she was like, "Whoa!" And she said, "You're beautiful, and you're all these things." And she was throwing all these compliments at me, because what I was struggling with was my self-image that morning, because I had somebody kept asking, "Well, what's getting in your way?" And I was like, "Well, I am, I'm afraid to ask for money." Oh, well, that wasn't it. Because of limiting beliefs based on how I was raised around my weight and what I looked like, I had this belief that I had to weigh a certain amount to be successful, and anything above that number kept me from being successful. But really, it's just that mindset. So I met with her, and she's like, "Oh, I see this beautiful, courageous, confident woman, not what you were portraying in this clubhouse room today." And she knew that I was a musician, so she challenged me to write a song about the broken, scared little girl who had been abused and neglected and belittled and broken and shattered, and to bring her to the woman that I am today as the author and the keynote speaker and the coach, and to thank the universe for the struggle. And I was like, well, okay, because writing music is an internal, universal, recovering perfectionist challenge. But she said, "Oh, and it needs to be ready by the time you go down to sticker shock." I said, "Casilda, that's 3 weeks from now." She goes, "Yep, and you're going to debut it live on stage. I'll be there." Well, she didn't get to make it because she's in Canada. They wouldn't let her over the border. So, but I followed through with that challenge, and I wrote this song, and I went to go start working on the music, and the guitar string broke. And my husband said, "Well, that's the universe telling you don't have the words yet. Get back to the table and start writing." I said, "Okay." And I ended up not writing the song on the guitar at all. And I wrote it on my piano. And so it starts out with a scared, sad little girl sitting in a very dark corner, hiding from the world, because at the age of 6, the beauty and the brightness of the world was shattered when I was introduced to pornography and sexual abuse. And that was followed with verbal and physical abuse, which led into a myriad of other challenges throughout my life, as you can imagine. So it's a conversation between me and myself in a mirror. And so the song is called Mirror.
Cool.
And it's up on iTunes.
It is. It's on 15 different platforms.
Awesome.
It's on iTunes, Spotify, Pandora, Google, Amazon, YouTube, which was fun because when I tried to post my little live debut replay on YouTube, they were like, "No, you have copyrighted material. You can't post this." So I had to prove it was mine, which I was prepared for. And in my dispute, I said, "Thank you for your concern for my intellectual property." And I believe the video is up on there now. So yes, it's available on 15 different platforms. I'm so excited to have that there. And I have 5 more songs that I'm working on mastering and getting those uploaded one at a time. So
Great. Royanne, you might have a milestone as well, right? With Bleep Bulimia podcast.
Oh, my 500. I hit my 500, which isn't bad. I've only been running it for 2 months, and it's going up. So it's all baby steps, though, right? Because that's where it goes. Look, Roy and I, it's been a year, not too bad, and we hit our 5,000. Yeah.
but think how long it took for us to get to 500.
Wow, you guys are at 5,000?
Yeah.
I just remember a couple months ago before I got booked on with you, you were just hitting your 2,500.
Mhm.
That's fantastic.
We went from 4,500 to 5,000 24 hours.
That's amazing.
That's so
Congratulations.
exciting.
Awesome.
Yay.
So, now I know that Aaron, I'm just dying now because prior to this recording, he was saying something about TikTok, and I've been sitting here wondering, tell us.
Yeah. Well, if you guys didn't know, I do TikTok as one of my platforms. I post them on Facebook every so often on my stories. And I've been doing it for it's going to be like a year and a half. And I've had a lot of experiences, a lot of learning things when it comes with good camera, bad camera, what the hell's that in the background, and playing with my sound and stuff. And I learned, well, when it comes with the background, it's actually good to have something distracting in the background. I learned with one of my videos, I was talking in the car and I had a creepy baby in the back of the car. And because of that creepy baby, it got more comments and more views because people were all like, did anyone see the baby? Did anyone see the baby? I'm like, yeah, it was there on freaking purpose. But anyway, there's a video I posted yesterday that I've never had this happen before. I've had times when they deleted the sound because of copyright reasons after TikTok did its switch. A lot of sounds wouldn't work anymore because of copyright reasons. So I just deleted those videos if the sound was an issue with copyright, because why have a video on there if it's muted? So, but yesterday was the first time I've had, what does it say on here? Community guidelines violation. And when I clicked on it and then I clicked on the details, it goes to dangerous act. And I'm like, what did I do that was a dangerous act, And what it was it was a stitch, which is someone else's video. I use 5 seconds of their video, and then I add my own part of the video to it. And that's a way to use their people, their followers, to get more followers for you. It's a little strategy thing. And because that video had more than 6 million views, I'm like, I'll use it, And what it was a girl who's very professional at this. I'm telling you this right now. I seen her Instagram and it's crazy. She throws swords and knives and axes and homemade stuff to boards, to like targets and stuff. And a lot of times she's doing other things. Like there was one I seen, she was spinning a basketball on a finger while she threw it. And there was all this other stuff, it was really interesting stuff. So I did part of her, I showed part of her video that had over 6 million views, and then I added my own. And my part was this. It was a piece of meat, like a piece of steak or whatever the meat was, on a paper plate. I took a fork and used their the same sounds that they use. They're like, oh, woo, when something exciting would happen, when they would get in the target, they'd be all excited. I would use those sounds when I was doing it. So I took a fork and stabbed it in the meat and was like, ugh. And then I took a steak knife, put it to the meat and started cutting. And then I was like, woo, that was my little thing of knives, because I don't throw knives. Okay.
They said it was dangerous.
Yeah, they said it was dangerous, and I'm like, and
already dead.
What?
I said it was already dead.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, and it's not like I didn't throw the knife at the meat, I was watching and I did it actually slower when I brought the knife down. I didn't want to cut I didn't want to cut my finger, so I actually did it slower. But then I sped it up with the speed and stuff, so it looked like I was going at regular speed. And then, yeah, it was like dangerous. But then I looked into it a little bit more, and when I looked at her account, she recently did a video that said that TikTok has not gave her a lot of her videos any views, and got rid of a lot of her videos because of the danger of what she does, you know?
Oh,
So that's what I'm thinking it's more towards, is her danger of throwing swords. And because one of the swords was a saw that was connected to a piece of wood that she made it herself, obviously, and then she threw it a long distance. So I'm thinking that it got like that because of her dangerousness of her video. I don't think it has anything to do with my video.
I wouldn't think so. The piggyback is what got you, not your steak.
Yeah, not the steak, but her video is still up that has over 6 million views. So I put on there, why is my video taken down when her video was not? So I'll wait to see what they do, and if they put it back where I can watch it, that'd be good. But if they don't, then whatever. It kind of sucks though, because I posted it yesterday right before I went to bed. And today when I last looked at it, it had over 19,000 views, and I was starting to get more comments, more likes. I got like 50 followers and then another 75 followers, and I'm like, this is good.
Dang.
Yeah, because of that.
I have 42 followers on TikTok. I'm killing it.
At least you're there. I'm not there at all.
Yeah, maybe
Well, I mean, honestly, it's like I want to grow my business and I want to be professional, but there's a funny side of me that is just busting to get out. But it's like, well, how do I do that and stay professional at the same
Dude,
time?
you know what? Like, you should do whatever it's you, right? Like,
I
you should
agree.
show you.
I
So
agree.
if you love TikTok, it's like totally go for it.
be
That's what
the
Aaron
real
does.
be the real Jennifer. Yeah.
Oh,
be the
my
real.
music's on TikTok too, by the way, Aaron. So feel free to use my sappy song for one of your videos. Just use it with the steak in the back. I mean, just
Aaron in front of a mirror with a piece of meat.
I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my God, it's on TikTok. So, well, that's so frustrating, Aaron, to get ping ponged like that. It's tough.
Yeah.
So I was going to follow you, but I didn't even bring my cell phone in here. Look at me having to be all kinds of focused on the meeting at hand.
Like, like talking about that. So my husband is a musician as well, singer songwriter, and he wrote his latest song as Free to Speak. So it's a little bit about people being able to speak, and he wanted to boost it on Facebook, and like his ad was just kept being declined because of the words. So he couldn't.
Yeah, because they don't want you to be free to speak.
Exactly.
Apparently, TikTok is run by vegetarians. They're offended by the meat pictures. but they'll let girls in panties shake their tail feathers on the screen for a minute because that's not offensive. It's like...
And I've noticed there's a lot more female professional accountants on TikTok as well. That's what they, accountants. That's their professional way of their job. When that's not actually their job, you can use your imagination.
Yeah. Probably a hooker probably doesn't work too well.
Hooker.
Stripper.
I guess it's just, to me, it makes me crazy. And like my girlfriend's like, why does it bother you when other people do? I'm like, I don't know that it necessarily bothers me, but I guess for me, it like makes me sad. And that's where one of the things that has really been a hiccup for me is I see, not all, but I see a good handful of female coaches who in their promotional stuff are in somewhat revealing or provocative poses or something like that. And then I'm like, I have to get naked to prove that I am a good coach. I will just do something else.
Naked.
Because there's only one place to get naked, and that ain't nobody else's business, maybe two. But I'm just saying. It's like, no. And so I get really mad. And it's like, no. Because I always sing to my daughter.
She's using that next to lingo.
Modesty is always in style.
You could do the opposite, where like big sweaters and everything go on and go.
Right.
Going
lot.
against the flow. I'm swimming the other way.
Yeah. Well, and yes, so I have to apologize. I have so many different accents, so they all slip out from time to time.
Who was it? It was Tyler Foley, wasn't it? That was saying naked.
Yeah, he's wrote some book, and I asked him about the title of it, and he goes, well, the reason I do this is because I like people in the South to hear them say naked.
That's what I called his book that. He's joking. but-
Yeah. So Aaron, what's your handle on TikTok?
It is, I think it's just my name.
Okay.
Yeah, at Aaron Konow.
Is that how you say that? Kono?
Yeah, it's not Konow. It's not Aaron. It's Aaron Konow.
There's only one person I call Aaron, and he deserves it. So Aaron Konow.
No.
Kono?
Konow.
Kono.
Me personally, because my mind is awesome, I don't really care what anyone calls me. Doesn't really make a difference to me, but it is.
So for me though, other than the first breath of your life, your name is the first gift that you're given. So to me, it matters that it's said properly. So when I meet somebody, I want to know how you say it because it is your name. It was the first gift you were given other than breath. So
Konow.
Kono. Kono.
Yeah, kind of right.
Yeah. Hey, my new song has almost your last name in it.
Oh wow.
It's called No Tomorrow, and the N-O is underlined. So it's K-N-O-W, and the N-O is underlined. Because I actually say both phrases in the song.
So this is, in fact, how I found Aaron. He's one of our first guests as well. Was because of his TikTok, and I said, "Can you get on? Because I want to know about TikTok." Because it's really pushing up there. But you started it before like the real kickoff, didn't you, Aaron? Or you at least were learning a lot about it at that point and having fun. So I kept seeing him on my Facebook once I friended him, and I'm going, I got to get this guy on our podcast. He's just like, it's interesting, and I love some of them. Some of them are freaking hilarious.
She used to say, hey, you got to get on TikTok. You got to see this Aaron guy. He's on Facebook. We got to get him on. We got to get him on. He's hilarious. Every morning, that's the first thing I do is look for his TikTok.
Yeah. So it makes you laugh. It does. It makes me laugh. It was my thing. Just like your Fridays. You have to friend Aaron because on Fridays, but you can't get there before me because I need to make sure I get the answer of one of them. So every Friday he posts up and it's a question and then there's blanks and you have to fill in the one blank, and I just so look forward to it. I know it's silly, but I
And this is on TikTok?
No, this on Facebook.
Oh, on Facebook. Okay. I do have a new Facebook group too, Lorianne. You're in there.
Yes, that's right too. I did. I
Yeah.
signed up. The Rise.
And men are welcome. And my Facebook group is called Rise, R-I-S-E. Do you remember what it stands for, Lorianne?
Oh gosh, no.
I know I've slipped it in there once. It's Rise from Ashes to Amazing, and Rise stands for Reflect, Ignite, Shine, and Elevate.
There we go. Now I'll remember it. No, I won't. Reflect, ignite. If I say
Shine, and elevate.
elevate.
And so it's interesting because Aaron, you're having challenges with TikTok, and I set up my group. I can't go live in my group.
You were saying that.
I've heard someone else.
That's weird.
I've heard some other people post on Facebook they couldn't go live in their group.
Yeah, and I made the group.
Yeah.
I've tried it several different ways, and I think it's gonna work, and then it doesn't work, and it says you don't have permission to do this. I'm like,
Are you the admin as your business page or as a personal?
both.
Like your, both. And did you try to go live through your business or through personal?
I tried it both ways, and I tried to go into my personal account, my Jennifer Jerrald page, not from the group itself, but from the Jennifer Jerrald page to go live to a group, and it wouldn't let me go live to my group. And I'm like, what's happening? And then I posted questions for people to answer to get into the group. And then I wanted to know what their answers were, and they didn't exist. And so I got rid of the questions. I'm like, well, that's a waste of everybody's time. If everybody's going to take the time to answer the question, but I don't get to see the answer. And then I'm asking the same questions. I'll be like, it's like being on a 1-800 number. Please enter your account number so that we can be ready for you.
What's your account
And
number?
then they enter and they say, thank you for calling. How can I help you? Can I please have your account number? And I'm like,
Oh, it's
did I already put that in? I don't have it in front of me. Well, then why did I put it in the computer? Don't ask me the question if you don't have the answer on the side. It makes me crazy. See, there's one of my accents. So my nail clients loved it when I did the Asian nail lady. They just loved it. So,
But Maggie, you do
Yeah.
live. 'Cause
Yeah, I have no issues. Like Jennifer, if you want, like is your group public or private?
it is a private group.
Yeah, I have a private too.
And so Aaron, you've met Jonathan Howard in the elephant room, right?
I probably have. I'm so horrible with names. If you give me a name, I won't know.
He's the one that only shows part of his face in his picture.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
He's a technology guy. And so he and I are going to have an appointment this week. We're going to do a Zoom and I'll share screen so he can help me through my settings. But I've been through everything. I have clicked on this and I've clicked on this and I've clicked on that. And it's just like, I don't want to have to shut it down and start over. I'm up to 55 people already. That's more than I ever got on my Tupperware page, which is crazy. I was in Tupperware for 20 years. So I was like,
if hopefully he can help you, but if not, like I'm happy to connect with you, Jen, and maybe we can,
sure.
Figure it out.
Well, I'm not afraid to ask for help because
Good.
my hair's thin enough. I don't have time to pull it all out. So it takes a lot to get it to look like I have hair. My husband touched the back of my hair on the way to church today. I was like, don't touch the hair.
It looks amazing.
Thank you. It's very thin though.
I have a question though. Okay, so you TikTok, because I went on TikTok, I watch it and I went through and I did a couple little dummy ones. Why is it that I find it so complicated? Am I just making it that way? Like with the music?
It's complicated.
It is? Okay. I just thought it was me. I mean, I know I could take the time to do it. Don't get me wrong. It's not like I can't learn it. But there just seems I'm going, if this is not going to be my main platform, is it worth for me to even take the time to put all that time into learning and doing it? Because it's not my main platform. I'm an Instagram, for this sort of stuff. But I love watching other people's TikToks. Like I said, I've got, Aaron is my laugh every morning. So there you go.
Well, you could just add some little snippets of interviews that you guys have done. You can make a little slideshow with your Lift Your Podcast Story background. And you can put statements out there that you're looking for podcast guests who have stories that will help lift others. Stories of you can just kind of use it as an advertisement. I watch people and I'm like, how long did that take?
Yeah.
Do these people have jobs? I mean, they've got all these transitions and the makeup on some of these women. I'm like,
even some of
no, I'm just gonna be me.
Some of the stuff that Aaron that you do, because I mean, I know that you put time into these things, some of them that you're doing.
Yeah, I recorded I think 11 today before the Zoom here. And I did that from around 10:30, 11 o'clock. It was around 11 o'clock when I got everything in the bedroom that I needed. And I was done probably around 12:45. So it was like an hour and a half to do those videos. I did do a couple more. I did do because when I do them, when I go back and forth, I don't change my clothes every single time. I take the clips that need the one shirt and do all those clips. And then I change my shirt into the other clips and then do all those clips. And then,
I was going to ask how that works for men because, if a woman did 11 videos in the same outfit, the women trolls will be like, girl, are you poor? You need to go shopping. You only have one outfit. Well, truthfully, I only have 5. So We're just get, although I did get a new red shirt.
So Aaron,
what
from
you did then, so-
start to finish, say start to finish for one complete video, what's the average time it takes for you?
It depends on the video itself. Like there was one today I did about, it's a remake of a different song that had to do with like technology from like the early days to like now. And that one took me a little bit longer because I needed a bunch of different backgrounds for it, but it wasn't hard to say the things because they're only 3 seconds long. So a big issue that I have is if the thing is a longer thing and I don't use my Telegram for it, I'll have to redo it multiple times because instead of I say the, I'll say it, and my mouth won't go with the words and stuff. And that's one issue that I have, is that my mouth needs to go with the words or else I won't post it. You know, unlike a lot of people out there that say, hey, just post it even if it looks like crap. I need my mouth to go with the words. There's been so many people who messaged me about my videos and they were like, I thought that was you talking. I'm like, no, it wasn't me. It wasn't me talking at all. But normally I would think like probably around 10, 15 minutes probably to do one. There was one I did today that was so easy. It was very short. It took like less than 2 minutes. And then I took a video that I recorded a long time ago from one of those automated scrubbers at Walmart. I don't know if you guys ever seen them or not. But Walmart is starting to have automation, you know, so they have the scrubber that scrubs on its own and uses sensors and stuff. And I remember when I seen it the first time, because when it started, I used to work there. So I did a video when I first seen it. And then I took that video and put it with a song with like hard work, na, 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 hard work, you know, and I just I didn't post it yet. I have it still on my thing, but I don't know when I'm going to post it, but you guys obviously heard something before I put it on. Woo!
Woo! We have the inside track.
But normally I'm doing it for like 2 or 3 hours on the weekend. And then during the week, I'll find trending ones that I see a lot of them with the same exact sound. Like there's one right now with a sound that I've been seeing a lot, but a lot of them with the sound has to do with either drinking beer or smoking a joint. And I don't do any of them. So I need to somehow in some way think of a way to use that sound with stuff that I actually do. And if I do, I do. If I don't, I don't. So
Yeah, a lot of they say use the sounds that are viral or the sounds that have millions of views. And I am like, well, you know, I'll just grow slower because I might use bad language from time to time, mostly when I'm angry, if I get really mad. But for me to just like casually throw it out there for everyday conversation, it's pretty rampant. So my daughter will say, Mom, let's watch TikTok. And I'm like, oh, because I never really know what the next video is going to show up as. And I don't know if there's going to be language. And I go, whoop. I mean, and I might get ghost watching for that but I'm like, no, I mean, she's going to hear enough of it at school. I don't need to just invite it in and say, here, this is how everybody talks. You should too. No, there's a time. I say there's a time and a place for the F-bomb. And usually it's because you made me really mad. Use it in the proper sequence, darling. Although I think I'll probably have a heart attack the first time my daughter ever says that word. I'll be like, oh God, so sorry.
But hey, Maggie, speaking of your kids, did you guys ever get to take a vacation? I think last time y'all were like thinking about taking a vacation.
No, so we took it for Easter. We rented a cottage by the lake. So, you know, in Ontario, we don't have mountains, but we have a lot of lakes, little lakes. And actually, somebody, like a lady I know, my mentor from California, she told me that HGTV has a new show or whatever with Scott McGuillery. Don't remember his last name. So he renovates the cottage. She's like, oh, it's so beautiful. Because she's like, oh, you went to one. So we took, and it was like we left on Thursday night, and I think the government announced the lockdown on Friday or something.
Yeah.
So thank God we took 4 days off. It was so great. It was really nice. It was really nice. The cottage was beautiful. It was quite late. We had a hot tub outside. So like the cooler days, we had a couple of cooler days and a couple of nicer. So the kids had fun. It was a good getaway from, just the house and being in it for the past year and a half. That was good.
How many kiddos do you have, Maggie?
So we're a blended family. Yeah, when we have all of them, it's 4 and 3 boys. So my two step boys are 15 and 13. And then we have 2 of ours, a girl in the middle at 9 and a little boy at 6.
Okay.
So the 6 of us went. It was fun. It was fun.
Nice.
Good timing.
How about you, Jen? You said you have a daughter?
I have 2. My daughter is my only biological baby, and she is my miracle. It took a gastric bypass, weight loss surgery, 145-pound weight loss, and 9 rounds of fertility to get that little munchkin.
Wow.
So it took 9 years to have her. I was 35 when she was born, and people asked if she was my granddaughter, and I was just so mad.
Like, my daughter,
I don't even look that old, right?
Wow. No, my daughter was born at 33. My 6-year-old, I think it was 35. Yeah.
So I was 35 when she was born, and then when she was just 3 in 2012, my ex-husband's stepsister's son came to live with us, and he was 13 and a half and a hot mess. He had been so abused and neglected from my ex-husband's father that it was a lot of work, and he'd been just kind of tossed and turmoiled his whole life. And so when he was 16, I adopted him because I said, you need to have a forever family and to know that you have a place where you belong. And it's not been easy. It's been a hell of a challenge, but he is going to be 23 next month. And he is living on his own. My husband bought him a car because he didn't have any credit, and I was trying to refinance my house. So my husband bought him a $2,000 car and made a payment arrangement with my son. And my son never missed a payment and paid the car off 6 months early. And so I was so proud of him. And he's had a job now. He's been holding his job down for going on 2 years. And he's got his own apartment. Now he's got a girlfriend. And I don't want grandbabies, especially if they have blue hair. His girlfriend has blue hair and a bull ring in her nose. And I'm like, I just hate things right there. They just, I'm like, you got sparkly boogers, need a tissue? Anyway, I don't like them. So, and she's super quiet and I can't get her to talk, and that drives me crazy because I'm chatty. But anyway, so he's doing very well, and it was not without its challenges and its hardships and it's a massive turmoil. And so I just gave a parenting talk in Clubhouse on Saturday, and just, it's never too late, really. When they're young, it's never too late to help them turn their life around and help them to make better choices. My son is a prime example of that. His PTSD score was a 27. If you don't know anything about PTSD scores, 27 is 3 points away from the highest score you can have.
Wow.
His score was higher than most vets coming back from war.
Wow.
Yeah, he had, they were called wide awake nightmares. So he'd be wide awake, and then he would go into a trance and just curl up in a ball and duck away from whatever was coming at him. Even though nothing was coming at him, he was having memory flashbacks and his body was responding. And I had never seen anything like that. And it was definitely a challenge. So, but he is a good kid. He has anxiety still. But thank goodness for the tools that I have now. I'll say, oh, we're spinning out. Okay, let's breathe through this. Sometimes they go, screw you. I don't want to breathe through this right now. I'm like, okay, go have your panic attack. Call me when you're done. But he's such a good kid considering what he came from. He's really, really, really doing awesome. So those are my two. And my daughter, like, she's 2 inches taller than me, like I said, and she's not even 12 yet. So it's like, oh, my ex-husband said, you might want to get some platforms when he picked her up on Friday because she's 7 taller than I. I said, I know, but I can still whoop her. And Aaron, you said you had a creepy baby in the back seat. Is that your baby?
That was a Halloween decoration that I have. And it really wasn't in the back seat, it was in the back window.
Okay.
But no, I don't have any babies.
I didn't think so. That's why I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
That was safe there, because what if he had said, yeah, that was my creepy baby, thanks a lot.
Oh, no, because dads say things. And so I was like, was that your creepy baby in the back seat? I mean, it could have puked and looked creepy. My baby would puke and she'd cover the whole back seat of the car. And we're like, oh. So you never know what creepy baby is defined as.
Hey, Jennifer, my youngest son, he was the one growing up that never said much. How was school? Fine. What'd you do? I don't remember. Yeah. That was his whole vocabulary, right?
Yeah.
But every once in a while now, he would stop, and if he wanted to talk to us, we would just completely shut down everything else and just talk to him for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, an hour, whatever it was he was willing to share, right? So fast forward, he's got 2 sons. His oldest son is exactly like he was. And he's so frustrated because, he'll say, Liam, you've got to talk to me. You've got to talk to me, And Liam gives him yeah, okay, yeah, whatever, And so one day we're there at the lacrosse game. He's trying to, and so Stephen's really frustrated. And so he's, golly, I just can't. I said, is it frustrating? Oh, yeah, it really is. Well, ding, ding. Welcome to the club. And he goes, but Dad, I don't want him to be like me. I don't want him to be like that. I see now what a mistake it was, So, but I mean, yeah, so it's kind of fun seeing your kids when they're grown and then fight and struggle you fought with, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, there's only one kiddo that came my way, and I don't know if she's just like me or not. I mean, she's pretty strong-willed. But I always gave the best parenting advice before I ever had children. And people would say, I mean, I thought it was the best parenting advice. And they would say, oh yeah, come back and talk to us after you have kids and let us know how it's going. And so it was kind of fun to be able to give that parenting talk yesterday, because I can say, well, here I am. And I've got really good news. I followed all my own advice and she's pretty awesome. And the teachers always say they have ever since she was in kindergarten, oh, we need 30 more of her. And so I guess that's some validation that mom's doing something right.
Well, that's why my oldest son, when he was about maybe 14 or 15, he said, I just can't wait till I'm grown up so I can do whatever I want. I go, really? Oh, okay. Well, just remember you made that statement. So he gets married, has kids, and his work, and he's just like, I got this. I got to be here. I got this. I got to write this. I got, and all this stuff. I go, well, wait a minute. What's the problem? You're a grown up. You can do what you want to do.
Yeah.
Oh, shut up, Dad. Shut up.
Your words come back to haunt you. Yeah, no, I just, I don't follow all that new age parenting BS. My daughter has a phone, sure, but that sucker is locked up tight.
Mm-hmm.
She can't just go to the internet whenever she feels like it. She can't just go to YouTube. She doesn't have Snapchat. She doesn't have Instagram. She doesn't have Bookface or Tweeter. That's what my husband calls those two. Tweeter and Bookface. She doesn't have TikTok. She doesn't have any of those social media apps. Not one of them. Not none of them. And her screen time doesn't even start until 3 p.m. in the afternoon, and that includes weekends. And she only gets 1 hour. So she has to choose her 1 hour. And sometimes I'll give her extra time if she asks or whatever, but I want her reading and drawing and playing with her friends and communicating. And she gets mad and she gets grumpy, but not terribly grumpy. And I said, and if you get madder at me, that's okay. Because if you're mad at me as your mom, then that means I'm doing my job. Because it's not time for us to be best friends. It's time for me to be your parent, and the time will come when we get to be best friends. And if I'm not the best parent, I may not get that opportunity, not in today's world. And I said, I'd rather have you mad at me and grow to adulthood than not mad at me and lose you forever.
Yeah.
Because our kids are being exposed to predators on the internet.
Mhm.
Every Instagram, social media, YouTube, anything like that, they're watching them. And if you don't think they can find out where you're at, you're wrong. We don't need microchips. We have the internet and cell phones. So that's what I tell her all the time. And I did one TikTok video with her. One. And some creepers made some comments about my daughter.
Oh,
So I made that particular post private. And I don't put her in TikToks with me anymore. And I showed her the comments and I said, darling, this is what I'm talking about. Do you see how dangerous it is in just 24 hours to put your beautiful young face on the internet? She goes, wow.
yeah. Something else that we talked about, the trafficking and all that, that's rampant out there. It's real, it's there, and it's not talked about as often.
Well, and it's been here for years.
Oh yeah.
The problem is we were ignoring it.
Yeah.
And we can't ignore it anymore. So I have very difficult conversations with my daughter. We role play, verbal role play. We role play, physical role play as far as how to get out of certain situations. I signed her up for self-defense classes, and then the gyms got closed. So we're hoping for that to open back up because she loved it. Mommy took 2 years of Krav Maga. So she's going to take Krav Maga too.
Knowledge is also very big. I mean, my mother even started, here I am, I'm 58. I remember my mother giving me some tips. I gave them to my daughter, and it worked out for my daughter because she said, oh my goodness, Mom, you know, the bans following and being careful and all of that, because, you know, when you're on your phone or doing things, you don't pay attention. She was very, very careful because I told her to be. And she said, thank you for that advice. I said, well, thank my mom, because my mom gave it to me and I gave it to you. And it's like,
yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
We cannot be too aware of our surroundings anymore.
Never.
Ever.
But
Like-
we cannot, but we still need to live though. That's the other thing. I mean, you know,
Absolutely.
you don't want it to go the other side of it where, you know, you
Well,
don't.
and that's what I
Are
do.
you outside in the front? Are you outside? Get in the back. You have to stay in a little screened area here right now, kids. That's it. That don't go anywhere further. You know, that's not easy to. That's not
Let her walk around the neighborhood by herself. I don't, you know, that's still a no-no in my world unless we're together. And then we'll go for a walk. My husband found that I started working out again outside. I started running to recondition my body after surgery. And he's like, oh my God, you were out running? I was like, in the broad daylight? In a hot pink shirt? And I run against traffic because then somebody can't come up behind me
That's the
in a
rule.
car on the same, you know, and I'm very aware. I look around. If I see somebody, I don't care who they are, I move. You know, I'm cautious, but not fearful.
Yeah.
We actually paint, we have a rainbow in our front window or our side window. We painted at the beginning of COVID, and it's a watercolor rainbow, and it says faith over fear, live, laugh, love, repeat. And that is going to stay in our window forever until it fades and you can't read it anymore.
You know, when I was a kid, our only rule was be home when the street lights come on.
Mhm.
I mean, when I would go in the morning, hey, I'm going to go to John's house, whatever. My parents had no idea really where I was at. You know,
Oh yeah, for sure.
they know where I started, but you know, and I mean, there was still danger back then, but it just wasn't like it is now. And my kids, when they grew up, they were pretty much the same way. Their kids, no, they don't go outside. If they do, it's in the backyard, fenced yard. And if they go somewhere, one of the parents is with them.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't have the childhood that we had. Which I
No.
think is a shame.
My daughter, I mean, granted, she's 27 now, but I did, with all that training, I had her go do things. She took the bus on her own when she was 10 years old. I knew where she was, though. That was the important thing. So when she was out of friends, I had to know, where your friend is and what phone number it's at. So that my mother always said that too. I always want to know where you are, so I know the last place to look if you disappear, where you were last. So it wasn't, I needed her to have her street smarts as well as balance it. I mean, it wasn't like I just let her go anywhere, but you see what I'm saying? I kind of balanced it for her to learn the street smarts and not be fearful, but be cautious, like you said, Jennifer. That was important. So.
Well, and that's exactly, it's like there's a huge difference between fear and caution. There's a huge difference between fear and awareness. And there's a huge difference between fear and functioning. You've got to be able to function forward without fear. There are moments where there's real opportunities to have fear. But for the most part, we fear the things we do not know or do not understand. We fear the things that we can't control. And therefore, we have a tendency to focus on the things we can't control and perpetuate the fear. So that's where focus comes in. Focus.
And that's for every age. We're telling every age goes that way, right? But I look at, speaking of fears and stuff, and I know we're running at the top of the hour now, but I do have to say this. I saw Aaron and I saw Jennifer when you started. I'm going to give a plug for Forbes here, but I saw when you guys started with her, what a difference it's made. And I've seen a few other people with the same thing. But your confidence and the way you're talking and everything is just, it's amazing to watch. Whether, I have to get back to Forbes because that's where I saw your transition come in, but just goes to show you, if you've got somebody there to help you through the fears or help you through the, not even necessarily fears, but your questions and where you're going to go to the next, how you're going to get to the next level, how you're going to communicate. Everybody can make progress if they want to. So that's really, really cool. Sorry, Maggie, I don't have anything to tell you about you because I met you.
No way.
I met you. You already had all of your business going and everything, but no, it was really neat to watch because Aaron was really quite quiet at the beginning, and now we're.
Yeah, I remember when Aaron first came in. I think I was just wrapping up OPP when Aaron first came into the Forbes circle. And so, I mean, I started out with Forbes's $19 class.
Yeah.
And then I took her pitch master class that she did. She's revamped that. So that's not an option anymore, I don't think. And if it is, she does it differently. But I took that class and I left that class just feeling so frustrated and so irritated and so small and so angry that I was just like, I can't do this. And she just kept saying, Jennifer, you need breakthrough. And I'm like, oh, I probably do. And so I started just saving because, like I said, my livelihood was shut. This room that's now my music room and my interview room was my nail salon. And my livelihood was taken away. And I was like, but if I'm going to create a new way of living, I have to learn a new way of living. And I started that through the DBT that we talked about on my interview. But then there were still things that were holding me back. And so I just started saving a little here and saving a little there and tucking a little here and tucking a little there. And then I finally was able to do breakthrough, and I did that 2-day breakthrough, and that was pretty significant. And then somebody watched my transformation in breakthrough and gifted me OPP.
Oh, very nice.
And so that was like, I forever be thankful for that opportunity because I didn't always understand it. And I still don't understand everything that I learned, but it definitely has helped because I've been on other people's platforms like yours.
Yeah. No, that's really good. And like I said, that I think, and that's where we talk about coaching is important, and we have coaches here. And it's through, you know, a couple of it's been through Forbes, others of us, it's been through other coaches, but they do help with transformation. And that's what we're here to do for other people as well. So, and I
Yeah.
just love you guys showing up. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it. It's always fun to get together and catch up and get to know each other better.
Yeah, I'm glad I was able to make it. We happened to be in town this weekend. If we go to our property, there is no internet, no cell phone, just the woods.
Well, Aaron and Maggie, they've been faithful. Yeah, and we appreciate that.
Well, just know that I will do my best to show up when I'm in town and I have service. And right now church is at 9 o'clock in the morning, but it does change every year. So if it's later in the day, I might miss it. But this was fun. Maggie, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Jennifer. Very nice.
Aaron, nice to spend a little more time with you. And now I know how to say your last name.
And it's nice too, because if we go back and we listen to the podcast, now it's not just a voice, you also
Yeah,
listen.
yeah.
That's
Yeah,
important.
Yeah, that's awesome,
Yeah.
yeah.
Absolutely.
All right.
All
I
right.
have a great leftover the Sunday, what's left of it. All right. Yeah.
Awesome.
All right.
Have a
Thanks, everyone.
blessed day.
Thanks everybody
Bye.
for coming. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
Enjoyed it.
Bye-bye.